Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. It's a pleasure to be here today. My name is Faisal Butt. I am Group Head of Technical Project Management Office at Red Sea Global. We are the developers behind Red Sea Project and Amala in Saudi Arabia, the two key projects which are part of the Kingdom's Vision 2030. And I'm going to keep it very short and to the point today. I was told by the organizers not to talk about Red Sea projects and where we're opening in the coming years as part of our destination, but really talk about our digital transformation journey. So I'm going to stick to that and talk to you about that today. So our journey kind of started in 2018, 2019. And from day one, our whole ethos was that we wanted to go paperless. So 2018, 2019, when our master plan was signed off in November 2018, we decided to actually enable ourselves by selecting our base systems and selecting our overall vision in terms of how we wanted to do workflows, how we wanted to enable digital construction, and where we wanted to get to. So that was the point. We selected our ERP system. We selected our business process management system, which was Aconex at that time, our scheduling platform, and automations that we wanted to take through across the construction process. In 2020, 2021, we started all the automations. So we started with our change management systems, our payment management systems. And as you guys know, change and payments are some of the most tedious workflows any developer, any organization has. So that was a continuation of our transformation. And then in 2023, 2024, now we are looking at intelligence. So we're looking at RPA as a robotic process automation, which I'll explain to you later. We're looking at digital mapping, how we do construction monitoring, because of the challenge that we have in terms of the vast geography that we are developing our projects into. And then what does the future look like? We'll talk a little bit more about that. So our tech stack. So tech stack for a developer, when you're selecting your technology is important, and you need to make sure that you buy into this very early on. So we use, Oracle Primavera P6 for our scheduling, and we really bought into Aconex as our business process management system, not just a document management system, which typically Aconex is known for. And we really made sure we commit to it. So that was our first tech stack, our base tech stack. Furthermore, we looked at Costex for estimation. We looked at SAP as our ERP system, Microsoft SharePoint, and then came BIM during the design phases. As we moved from our master planning into a design phase from 2018 to 19, we really adopted BIM and really made sure we utilized BIM to the best of its functionality, not only in the design and construction process, but in the operations process, hopefully later on as well. I talked about connected costs as our commercial management system, and we're looking at Rizzo as well currently for clash detection in our designs. But what does the future look like? So one of the biggest challenges, I think, for any developer here is data management. How do you manage data, right? We talk about data warehouses, we talk about data lakes, we talk about common data environment, and I think a colleague of ours talked about a connected data environment. So that's essentially we want to get to in the future, and we'll show you a little glimpse of how we are planning to do that. So I'll talk about now a little bit of business cases, the use cases that we've done, because I want to give you practical examples of how we implemented these things. So the manual payment process. I mean, this is, like I said, the most tedious thing that any developer will actually undertake. Payments and changes. Creates a lot of paper, a lot of workflows, a lot of manual input, and is prone to human error. So our thing was, we have over 180 projects concurrently in development. We have over 3,000 contracts because we're doing pure construction management. The challenge is even bigger. We process approximately 500 payments a month. Okay, so how do we do this? So again, bringing all this into a common data environment, which we're using in Aconex. So Aconex is our base platform, and we're using all these workflows. We're using connected cost for commercial management. So essentially automating payment certificates and work completion certificates in PDF with signatures. And that's how we really moved completely away from paper. And I can proudly say that in our organization, there is never an occasion that somebody signs a payment certificate by hand. It just does not happen. And that's across over 3,000 contracts that we're actively managing today. And I think, that's a testament to our PMIS team and our BIM team and the teams who are present here today. And they'll be more than happy to talk to you about it, that how we actually undertook this journey. And more importantly, it's the partners that we partnered up with essentially throughout this life cycle. And I think they're here today as well. So I'm happy to talk to you more about this later on. One thing which was really close to me was reporting. And I think it's the biggest challenge for any developer as well. When you have multiple projects at different stages in design and construction, how do you ensure data integrity? How do you ensure you have real-time reporting? How do you ensure that the quality checks on the reporting is done before the C-suite or the executive team has a view on these? So we looked at, and traditionally, you look at standalone data warehouses. You have different projects at different stages. You collect the data from site. You have commercial data coming in. You have finance data coming in, schedule data coming in. And then you process the data independently, and then you report at different levels. But as a developer, having a portfolio of 180 projects, how do you bring us all together into a central space? So rather than us trying to implement one single platform, which frankly to this day I don't think exists, to actually assess, to process all the data, assess all the data, we said develop sub-warehouses and data marts. So for every single project, we develop sub-data warehouses where we're bringing in information from legacy systems, for bringing information from connected cost, from Aconex business process workflows, from Primavera P6, from other platforms, and then process the data. So make sure the data is processed there, your QA QC happens there, and then use Power BI to visualize the data. So we came up with this custom solution in-house with some consultants and mostly driven by people within the company to develop an integrated project controls platform, which has been very successful, which gets updated once a month across all projects, and you have fully QA QC data, which we are presenting to the executive suite and external as well. So that's been a very, very successful achievement internally that we have done over the last 2 years. Remote construction monitoring. Again, like I mentioned, one of our biggest challenges is that we are across a wide geography. So between Red Sea project and Amala project, it's approximately 300 kilometers. Plus, we have a number of projects that we are working on, which are across the west coast of Saudi Arabia. So how do you ensure that at any given time, you have a view on the progress of the project, the construction quality itself? You have even views around health and safety, environment and sustainability in terms of environmental monitoring. So these were our challenges. And what we did is that we incorporated 360 construction visualization technologies, which are a number of them in the market today, and really made BIM at the center of this. So ensured that you're pulling schedule information from P6, you have visual mapping through various construction technologies, including 3D cameras. You have design information coming from Autodesk 360. And that all is validated by our BIM managers to give a view of what the actual construction site looked like. So if you look at this screenshot over here, on the far left is a BIM image. And then in the middle is an actual construction image from site. So you can see the similarities between the two when we actually start putting all the data sets together. This is again one of our smaller projects, which is close to Kaust, in the vicinity of Jeddah, and again a very remote location. It's a challenge to access it. It's a small island, so you can't really get too many people on and off the island at any given time. But these technologies have really helped us give a view in terms of where the project is, and is for schedule, for the actual progress itself as well, and health and safety. So it's been, again, a very successful endeavor that we've done over the last few years. RPA. I'm a big fan of RPA. I think this is something that we underestimate the power and the value of. So just to give you an example, we have over 120 information managers, document controllers within the organization, and they work across the clock. So information comes in from our consultants, they review the quality of the information, they are responsible for distributing the information within the organization to different disciplines, get the comments back, incorporate the comments, map it across BAME, and then push the information out. And during this, they spend hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of hours, if not more. This is, of course, prone to human error. And they are repeated workflows. They are the same workflows you do over and over again. So we said, okay, how do we take this pain away? How do we make sure that we're not doing mundane tasks over and over again? How do we make sure that, we are reducing human error, because there is prone to human error, and this value being lost in terms of manpower and man hours and money that we are losing in terms of doing the mundane tasks. So we actually worked with a partner to say, okay, we have 5-6 standard workflows that we do on a daily basis. We repeat them over and over again. How do we automate them? So we engaged with a company by the name of Autosphere about a year ago, and we defined these workflows. And these workflows were not only within the project information management system team, but they were touching various departments as well. They worked with us, and we were able to actually successfully reduce the man hours by 25,000 in the first year alone. So that's 25,000 man hours that we reduced in the first year alone. In the first year alone, the saving we are making in terms of man hours is $173,000. That's only in 1 year alone. And over the course of 5 years, this will go up to more than $5 million. So just to let you know that RPA, if done properly, if automated properly within the organization, can have tremendous values. We as developers, as builders, do the same process flows, do the same workflows over and over again. And this is a technology, I think, which is rather than going straight into AI, this is something that every developer should look at in terms of reducing their burden on manpower, reducing the human error that unfortunately, human intervention causes. So these were a couple of examples, a couple of key examples that we have undertaken, and happy to speak to anybody about our experience. Our teams are present here as well. Some of our partners are present here as well. So we're happy to talk more about it later in the event. Thank you.